All right, and here on our news, it says Ripple CEO and Monica Long admitted this on camera about XRP. And that's coming from our news source Times tabloid. Now, what if I told you that the biggest rumors floating around the crypto space regarding Ripple giving up on XRP were completely destroyed in a single on camera interview? For months, critics have been telling you that Ripple's new stablecoin ventures and institutional pivots means they are leaving their native token behind. They want you to believe that XRP is being phased out. But a newly highlighted clip shared by top crypto commentator Stellar Rippler on X right here completely flips the narrative on its head. We just watched Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse and President Monica Long sit down and lay out the cold, hard operational truth. They didn't just defend XRP, they admitted exactly how it acts as the master key to the entire global financial network. So in this video, we are dissecting this explosive footage to see why the critics have it completely wrong and what this means for the global financial ecosystem right now. All right, our very first question is, why does Monica Long call XRP the ultimate currency breach? Let's start with the first half of the footage highlighted by Stellar Rippler right here. Ripple President Monica Long directly addressed how the company serves its institutional customers. She openly confirmed that Ripple uses a dynamic mix of assets, including stable coins, but specifically pointed back to XRP's original architecture. She noted that XRP was built from day one to be the bridge for the long tail of currency pairs. As tokenization expands into real-world assets like real estate, stocks, and commodities, the financial world is creating thousands of new digital tokens. Monica Long's point is that you cannot create a direct, liquid trading market for every single random pair of assets on Earth. You need an efficient, highly liquid intermediary asset to sit in the middle and connect them instantly. So here's my opinion. This completely invalidates the fear that the stable coins will replace XRP. Think of global finance like a massive international airport hub. You don't have direct flights from every tiny town in the world to every other tiny town. Instead, everyone flies into a central hub, and from there, they catch their connecting flight. XRP is that central hub. Stable coins are just the local flights feeding into it. Monica Long is telling us that as more things become tokenized, the need for a neutral, lightning-fast bridge asset doesn't shrink, it explodes. The more tokens that enter the market, the more crucial XRP becomes to tie them all together. Now, did Brad Garlinghouse just destroy the anti-XRP narrative? The clip it shifts to Brad Garlinghouse, who addresses the rampant misinformation spreading online. He pointed out that some people love to paint a picture suggesting Ripple has abandoned XRP. He didn't just disagree. He rejected the idea outright and called it completely illogical given how Ripple's business model actually functions. He reiterated his previous statements that XRP sits directly at the center of everything Ripple does. To prove his point, he pulled back the curtain on how their payment corridors and treasury infrastructure operate. When liquidity moves through Ripple payments, the system dynamically chooses the best asset for the job depending on the specific corridor and currency pair. Sometimes it uses a stable coin and sometimes it uses XRP. The algorithm simply picks whatever delivers the best price and fastest experience to the end user. Right? Now here comes my opinion about this. This is a huge wake-up call for the market. For years, critics have tried to create a fictional war between Ripple's corporate success and the utility of the XRP token. Garlinghouse is looking directly at the camera and telling the world that abandoning XRP would be like an airline abandoning its own airplanes. It makes zero business sense. So as a market observer, I see this multi-asset approach as a massive strength, not a weakness. Ripple isn't forcing a square peg into a round hole. They are building a real-world enterprise system where XRP wins purely because it is the most efficient tool for the job. Alright? Now, what is the secret history behind Ripple and the supply of the USDC? Garlinghouse then dropped a bombshell statistic that left a lot of people in the crypto community stunned. He revealed that in early 2023, Ripple actually minted 20% of all USD in circulation. Right? Let that sink in for a moment. 1/5 of the entire circulating supply of the world's second largest stablecoin was minted through Ripple's institutional payment flows. He explained that this massive volume was driven by real enterprise treasury movements. Ripple utilized USDC for specific payment corridors where it made the most sense, while simultaneously using XRP for others. Now, here comes my opinion. This statistics is the ultimate proof that Ripple is operating at a level of institutional scale that most retail traders can't even fathom. Minting 20% of USDC shows that Ripple is deeply embedded in the plumbing of global stablecoin liquidity. So to me, this completely refutes the maximalist mindset. Ripple isn't anti-stablecoin. They are pro-efficiency. They use stablecoins to onboard traditional financial institutions who might still be nervous about regulatory labels. And then they route that massive volume through their ecosystem where XRP sits as the ultimate settlement layer. It's a brilliant Trojan horse strategy for enterprise adoption. Now, why does customer problem solving matter more than blockchain loyalty? Garlinghouse made it clear that he completely rejects the crypto maximalist label. He stated plainly that different blockchains serve different solutions and different technologies. He argued that the entire digital asset industry needs to stop focusing on blockchain preferences and start focusing on identifying the customer's problem first. He pointed out that a corporate treasurer or a global bank doesn't care about the underlying blockchain's brand name. They care about speed, cost, and reliability. He then highlighted XRP's specific undeniable strengths. It is highly scalable, incredibly fast, and costs mere fractions of a cent per transaction. Now, here comes my opinion. This pragmatic approach is exactly why Ripple is winning the institutional race. While other crypto projects are fighting ideological wars on social media, Ripple is acting like a serious enterprise software company. So as a market observer, I agree that the end user shouldn't even feel the blockchain. When you send an email, you don't think about the SMTP protocol. You just want the message to deliver. By focusing on solving the customer's problem with the best tool available, Ripple is ensuring that XRP wins on merit. When banks need speed and ultra low cost for complex cross-border transfers, XRP is naturally chosen because nothing else matches its performance. Now, how does XRP become the permanent backbone of global finance? When you piece together the comments from both executives in this footage, it becomes clear why commentator Stellar Rippler shared it on X. It provides undeniable proof of a coordinated, multi-decade plan. XRP isn't designed to be a speculative retail asset. It is being positioned as the neutral, permanent backbone of the entire tokenized financial system. Both Garlinghouse and Long describe a future where traditional fiat, stablecoins, and tokenized real-world assets all live on the same network, using XRP as the foundational piece of infrastructure built to scale with global demand. My takeaway here is all about the big picture. We are moving away from the old era of speculation and entering the era of pure utility. When you listen to the leaders of Ripple speak on camera, they aren't hyping up short-term price charts. They are talking about plumbing, liquidity, and architecture. So as a market observer, my conclusion is that the narrative surrounding XRP is stronger than ever. The executives themselves have confirmed that XRP is irreplaceable in their long-term vision. It is the neutral liquidity anchor for a tokenized world. Alright, as for our overall conclusion, this on-camera footage stripes away all the online noise and delivers the ground reality of Ripple's strategy. The rumors of Ripple abandoning XRP are completely false. By adopting a multi-asset approach and utilizing stablecoins alongside XRP, Ripple is building a massive financial funnel. They are onboarding the world's largest institutions using familiar tools, only to route them into a system where XRP acts as the ultimate, highly efficient bridge asset. As tokenization scales globally, the structural necessity for XRP as a neutral backbone becomes undeniable. The strategy is clear, the utility is real, and the leadership is fully committed to the token at the center of it all. And this finally ends our video. Thank you very much for watching and see you on the next one, or you might just as well check this recommended video right here.